Hi, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Brave Briefings, the place where men and women can come and share their ideas, their tips on what we can do to make this world a safer place, a place that is devoid of harassment and gender-based violence and bullying and all those other horrible toxic behaviors. So what we need to do is we need to be brave, have boundaries, respect and responsibility, agreement, to be alert, to have values and vulnerability, and to be empowered with equality. So are you brave? Are you brave, Madhan?
Trying to be, I guess.
So I'd like to welcome our guest today, Madhan Matthew. Hi, Madhan. Please would you introduce yourself to our viewers?
Sure. Hi, Lewis. It's good to meet you always. Yes, my name is Madhan Matthew, and I would call myself as a husband first and a father of 3 children. Yes, I'm in work. I'm a certified leadership coach. And also I have experience in counseling parents as well as children, especially teenagers. And right now we are focusing on learning and development, especially in the e-learning front, digital content development, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, as in a nutshell, I love people and I love to add value to people. So over to you, Lois.
Thank you for that. And it's so important with e-learning as well, because within this digital age, there's so much cyberbullying and people say such ugly things on the ether. So it's very good that you are out there educating people in that cyber world. So well done and thank you. So Madhan, would you like to give some ideas of what we can do, how we can be brave, how we can make a difference?
Right. Thank you, Lewis, for asking this. And I really feel this is a very deep subject or topic to actually address. Now, an incident happens, and unfortunately, this bullying or any attack on violence or any sort of invading people's privacy or people's personal zone gets noticed only after a very dramatic incident. Only when the media captures or only when it becomes viral, then suddenly we all try to oppose it. We try to either take a stand to either one party or the other. And most of the times we do stand by the victim. We do extend our sympathy and we do try to find justice, or we even fight for the justice of the victim. However, the way I look at it, that it is not just an incident where an attacker attacked the victim. So what we do, we support and sympathize with the victim and perhaps give them some remedial, coping up support or ideas. And then we punish the attacker, we punish the perpetrator, and then we think, okay, it's all done over. But then I really feel this is much more deeper than that. I think it starts from the childhood. It starts from the way we are parenting, because no one is born as an attacker, or no one is born as a bullying person or someone who wants to find joy or satisfaction in hurting someone. So it all starts by we understanding that this is something much more deeper. And I really would like to stress the point of the B, which is the boundaries and the balance that that you have very well charted for as an abbreviation in the BRAVE. So I think as parents from the childhood, it will be good for us to teach and educate our children to have some healthy boundaries. Now, when I say healthy boundaries, what does that mean? Everything that I enjoy may not be the best thing for me and may not be the best thing for others as well. For example, I may enjoy eating a lot, but then that's not the best thing for me if I keep doing it. Or I may enjoy sleeping, or I may enjoy watching Netflix all the time, but then that's going to eventually hurt me the debaucherous nature of indulging in something, even though I'm happy about it. Now, many parents, we want our children to be happy. And because you are seeing them happy while they're doing something, you're allowing them to indulge. So you're not teaching them that everything that is enjoyable for you may not be the best, number one, for you. Number two, at times, even for others. For example, I may really enjoy beating someone, and beating somebody may make me to feel strong, but then I cannot do it because it's hurting somebody else. It's causing physical pain, or it's causing the other person to feel inferior to me, right? So both these things we need to watch, that at times our children do things which makes them happy, which if they don't have a boundary is going to eventually hurt them. And at times the children want to be happy by doing something which can hurt others. And obviously there needs to be a boundary on how you behave with others socially, how you behave with your teachers. And since you brought up the point of the cyberbullying, today the children are not even respecting the teachers, because the teachers have no control in this virtual teaching scenario, right? So the teacher says, switch on your camera, but the children, they do not switch on the camera, or they don't follow the instructions. And the parents, they don't do anything about it, right? So then indirectly, the parents are teaching the children, it's okay not to respect the teacher's instruction, right? It's okay not to follow the rules of the school. And so eventually, socially, there is no boundaries for this child. So what's going to happen is eventually the child is going to just enjoy the life without any boundaries or without any balance. So I feel it starts from there. And I think as parents, as teachers, as matured adults, we all need to watch out for this.
Sure, thank you for that. And as you mentioned, you've got those boundaries and you've got to respect the people around you, your parents, your teachers. You mentioned that somebody may enjoy beating somebody up because it makes them feel strong. What do we do? What do we say to that child? How do we get them to realize that that is not healthy behavior?
Absolutely. I think that I like the way you wanted to point that out. Well, I really feel many times as parents, we are trying to identify, or we are trying to notice only the symptoms, and we do not go to the root cause, right? So now the child beats someone, and as a parent or as a teacher or as a person who's watching it, I would say, don't beat. Okay, don't beat others, or don't. Now we need to get more deeper than that to understand that that child's behavior of beating somebody is only the tip of the iceberg. It's only the external output of something that is going on inside. Perhaps the child is seeking attention. Perhaps the child wants to be noticed. And the only way he is getting noticed is when he is troublesome, or when he beats someone, he feels that he's able to have an influence or an impact, right? So it's important that the parents or the teachers spend time with the children. And here, in this case, I would say more to the parents actually, and have those conversations and find out from the child what is the reason that he's having he or she is having such a violent behavior, right? And many times I've noticed that it is just one meaningful conversation, right? And the child's behavior changes upside down, because it's that simple, but we are so busy that we do not have the time to do that. To sit down, look into the eyes of the child and ask them some series of questions, and then help them to empathize, like, questions like, how would you feel if someone beats you, or if someone manhandles you, right? And really helping them to feel it, right? And it makes a night and day effect of a change when you have a meaningful conversation with your child. Now, of course, your child may have other challenges to overcome, but you can focus on one area, one behavior at a time. Talk about it, encourage them, not in a reactionary or an angry manner, but in a very constructive, respectful, and a loving manner. So that's something I would like to share.
Well, that is such a valuable tip. It is so important, because what often happens is that child who's misbehaving gets punished, and it just makes the situation worse, rather than going down, sitting with that, having that meaningful conversation and discovering the root cause, as you said. So I think that is probably one of the most powerful tips. Start inside, go inside, find out what's going on, what is causing that particular behavior. And I like what you said as well, deal with one behavior at a time.
Absolutely, absolutely. And well, see, I would just like to point out one word that you used. Now, punishment cannot be absolutely wrong, because at times a very well-planned discipline, I would like to use the word discipline instead of punishment, because just like how I felt when you used the word punishment, it looked very strong to me, you know. In fact, it has a negative implication. So I would use the word discipline, wherein a child is very well informed ahead of time that if you cross some boundaries, or if you cross the line, so that's how you set up boundaries, and that's how you get them to honor the boundaries, because in that age, they perhaps understand the language. All right. And when we do it without anger, and when the child is very clear that I am doing it for his or her well-being, not because I'm freaking out, and not because I'm having this blood pressure and I'm upset, so I'm going to crucify you. It's not that, but it's for your well-being. It's for you to do well. When the child gets that message, then the child would start honoring the discipline pattern that you're setting, because you have already informed the child well ahead of time that this is how it is going to be. And slowly, that is how they come into the line of respecting those boundaries.
So it starts with indoctrinating those boundaries into the little children when they're still young, and that they understand the consequences of breaking those boundaries, so that when it comes, if they do break the boundary, then they understand the consequences, and that's some form of discipline.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
It sounds so simple. It sounds so simple. Why is it working?
Well, yeah. If my wife sees this video, I'm sure that's what she's going to say. You are very good in advising others. What about in our house, right? So, as you rightly said, it sounds very easy. It's easily said than done. However, we need to keep making those efforts. We may not be perfect. We may not be the ideal parents, but we need to be good enough parents who are making those attempts, who are never tired of trying again, right? And I think who should never give up, standing up again and making those efforts. So that's what I would say. And I would like to also highlight the balance part. I think boundaries, where one another thing is balance. And I think the balance is another important aspect, wherein, yes, you should be, a parent who's teaching and disciplining them, but at the same time, you should have fun, right, in a very healthy environment. I really feel one of the key reasons that violence or abuse or bullying happens is that there is an element of fun that the attacker or the perpetrator enjoys. Now the reason is he thinks the only way to enjoy is by crossing some lines. When he's illegal, he's more excited. When he's doing something behind someone's back, there is an adrenaline rush he's getting, right? The reason is he has never enjoyed fun in a healthy environment, because his parents are always quiet. his uncles are quiet, his church is boring, his school is boring. So the only time he enjoys is when he goes behind someone and steals their wallet or something. And then he feels like, wow, I did something. This is fun. Wow, he didn't even notice, right? And what happens is when all the good influencers who are around him are not having fun, especially when they are with him, right? So as a dad, I can say, what fun can I have with my 5-year-old? I would rather go with 40-year-old guys and freak out and enjoy and leave my child behind, right? But then that is the balance we need to create as parents, wherein we need to have fun with them. The child should know that you can have fun and enjoy and feel like a hero or feel like a great person, even in a safer and a good and a pure and a noble environment as well. And when they enjoy that, then why would they go ahead and do things like that? So that's another way of looking at it, to have the balance of fun at the same time teaching and discipline as well. So
it's such an important lesson as well. So thank you for bringing that up. It hasn't been brought up before. That's really great. Have that inspiration and that entertainment that keeps people on the straight and narrow. That's fabulous. Thank you so much for all of that advice and those tips. Viewers, are you bold? Are you brave? Please join us. I am Lois from Walking Without Skin, and I'd like you all to join us and fly free. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you, Lois. Thank you. Really appreciate this. This is something very noble. And I would say hats off to you, salutes to your courage. And you are an example of being brave. And kudos to you, Lois, and keep doing the good work, and any support, I'm always there.
Thank you very much, Madam. Go well. Bye, viewers.
Thank you. Bye-bye.